Hey, which title should I go for my video? The haves and have not, or the rich get an island and the poor not. I'll show myself out. Hi, it's my first video from this new studio space. This big blank wall here is going to have some guitars on it once I stick the rack up. But yeah, first video because the dead animal smell is no longer here. So I'm actually able to come in here and get set up. If you don't know who I am, let's change that. It's Thursday. I'm dropping some thoughts on the iPhone 14 Apple event, which happened a week ago. There's been a lot of chatter this week, which we'll cover. And I'll also give you my updated thoughts and the hits and misses of the Apple event. If you didn't see my kind of first reaction video, you can check that out up here. Otherwise, let's jump in. Let's start with eSIM. If you're the average consumer, this is absolutely not a problem. If you're into tech or follow the tech community, you probably think the sky is falling and the world is coming to an end. But it's absolutely not. I've had an eSIM for 4 years without issue. Now, in the 4 years prior to that, I'd say I had at least a couple of physical SIM failures where I had to go to the carrier and get a new SIM card. If you're traveling, your phone can have more than one eSIM, so it's easy to set that up while you're traveling. If you're transferring an eSIM from one device to another, again, very quick and very easy. Set it up on a new phone, delete it on your old phone. Now, when I went from my 10S to my 12 2 years ago, my carrier had a bit of problems. They weren't really sure what they were doing in terms of transfer. I think it was the first time they'd really kind of run into a cycle where they were transferring eSIMs rather than just setting them up. I just said, do I just delete it off my old phone now that I've set it up on my new phone? And they were like, oh, don't do that. We need to investigate. And after a weekend and 3 days of waiting, I just got jack of it, deleted it off my old phone without asking them, and it connected straight away. So that was the solution. So Tech YouTuber 1, carrier 0.
Yay!
If you're worried about not being able to have a burner phone, what law or whose heart are you breaking? With the iPhone 14, Apple opted to drop the Mini and go with the Plus. They only made minor changes to the iPhone 13 specs, so there are 0 reasons to buy this phone. Early reports suggest that the Plus is selling worse than the Mini when it first launched, and there isn't a global pandemic shutting down the world. My thoughts haven't changed since the 12 lineup. If you want small, you go for the Mini. If you want big, you go for the Max. If you're in the middle, you go Pro. The iPhone 12 should have been the worst selling phone in that lineup. If you want that middle screen size, you go for the Pro because the little bit of extra money is worth the features. It's the same with the 13, but now with the 14, you have 2 sizes, effectively regular and large. The Pro is the only way to go. I can see no reason with just 2 sizes to get the iPhone 14. And if you can't afford the Pro, then you probably shouldn't be upgrading anyway. Maybe you should look at the 13 Pro, which is a great buy right now. Check out my video up here where I talk about the pressure to keep on upgrading every year. Don't get sucked in by Apple. Now, I would have loved the Mini to stay in the lineup. It's the kind of sequel to the iPhone 5 in my opinion. It's that great compact size and just a great phone as the iPhone 5 was. Now, I would have loved to see a Pro one day. Now, I know that what I spoke about before about sizing and lineups, that would have messed up the lineup. But I think Apple have messed up their own lineup with a move away from the Mini and over to the Island. Okay, it is an awful name and people should definitely be getting fired over this. But the software integration of this hardware feature is fantastic. Apple have created haves and have-nots. They've done this before with the Pro Max and the Pro having different cameras. But this is a software feature and it's disappointing to only see it come to the iPhone 14. Let's talk about the Island. With the notch, it was attached to the bezel or the black border around the screen. So your eye wasn't drawn to the top of that notch. It tended to disappear in everyday use, you just didn't notice it. With that strip of content across the top of the Island, it draws the eye. Therefore, it doesn't fade into the background the way the notch did. If it was a notch, it would be smaller, but you could still have the dynamic functionality. And the dynamic functionality could be shared across all iPhones with a notch. I feel with the hole punch design, it's like they listen to the general public, and that's the last thing you want to do. Employ experts and listen to them. one word and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, in the video I referenced earlier, I was talking about the upgrade process. Now, I've got an iPhone mini and I only ever want mini phones in the future. I don't want a bigger phone, so I'm not upgrading. But I've also got an original Apple Watch, so I was absolutely due for an upgrade. Last year I hated the colours, midnight and starlight. Where the f*** is space grey? But I wasn't ready to go stainless steel or titanium. In the Apple Watch Series 7, the stainless steel was around $1,100 odd and the titanium around $1,200 odd. As I didn't want to go shiny, I was thinking I'll go for the titanium Series 8. But I knew the Pro was coming, but I thought it would be very expensive. And the Series 8 lineup is a little bit bland and a little bit meh. So I was thinking stainless steel and bland because they didn't announce a titanium, and then the Apple Ultra came. And I thought, that's the watch for me. I'm into mountain biking and hiking, I want to get back into trail running. I'm into a bit of an outdoor adventure. And the 8 is the 14 of the watch range. It's really forgettable. The Ultra would have still sold really well, even if the 8 had the flat screen design. It's at the same price point, really, that a titanium version of the 8 would have been. Very similar price point. But Apple seemed to be putting profits ahead of innovation with the Series 8. Now, big YouTubers won't tell you this, but I'm off Apple's Christmas card list as it is, so I'm just gonna tell you how it is. Apple are always adding features that are great. The body temperature sensor in the watch, crash detection on the watch and the iPhone 14, and satellite messaging on the iPhone 14. But that's a service as much as a feature. It's only included for 2 years free in the US and Canada. The products look good and they're the best ever.
We're introducing our best Apple Watch lineup yet, by far.
This is our best lineup ever.
This is our most powerful Pro camera system ever.
This is our most incredible iPhone lineup ever.
The best iPhones we've ever created.
But why wouldn't they be? But are they enough to keep Apple being exciting? Comment down below with your thoughts on Apple and these products. If you like the video, it gives me an indication of whether you like content like this and whether I should keep making more of it. You can check out more Thursday Thoughts up there in that playlist. Thanks for supporting the channel. I'm Simon. Come and say hi on Twitter, Instagram or Facebook. This has been Tech My Life Video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.